Well, praise Jesus today, everyone. Just a quick live message here. One thing that many Christians overlook is meditation. And when I say meditation, I'm not talking about Eastern religion or some kind of yoga practice or anything like that. But when I'm talking about meditation, I'm speaking of keeping our own thoughts in check and making sure our mind is not just aimlessly wandering. See, there are times in our day when we are focused on something. Maybe you're in school and you're doing math. When you're focused on something like that, likely you're not sinning because your mind is focused on the task that's in front of you. Or maybe you're at work and you're answering phone calls. You're likely not sinning because you are engaged in that task in front of you. But what about those times that you're not focused on anything? You're just relaxing. You feel like you're on vacation. Maybe you're even bored. What are you doing in those times? Because those are the times that the devil will throw all sorts of temptation at you. And if you don't take control of your mind, and if you're not meditating actively on the things of Jesus Christ, then your mind will be thinking about all the things that happen throughout the day, and you're from one rabbit hole down another rabbit path, and you'll find all these temptations in your mind that then you're falling into sin. We know that when David fell into sin was not a time when he was focused on the war, but it's a time when he was at home. Maybe he was getting bored, and that is when he looked over and he saw someone bathing next door and he fell into adultery. He murdered someone, basically, and it was a horrible thing for David. He repented, but part of the reason he fell into that temptation and sinned is because he wasn't keeping his eyes on the Lord. It was a weak point for him. A lot of us will find ourselves at a time where we mentally are weak because we're not focused at the workplace, we're not focused at school, we're not focused at home, we're just sitting around letting our minds wander. And if you let your mind wander, your mind can be a very dark and scary place. It's a place where you will be thinking about things that will make you very fearful. And if you're not overcoming that and holding Jesus's hand, the devil will continue to lead you down the path of anxiety and fear, and all sorts of fear will just start to come out of nowhere. Your mind is a scary thing if you let it just wander. Sorry, guys. Gotta turn down my phone here for a minute. So we need to make sure that instead of letting our mind wander aimlessly, that we are actively taking our thoughts, that we're controlling them, and making sure that we're dwelling or meditating on the things that the Lord would have us meditate on. So it's kind of like changing the channel. Instead of letting your mind wander on something that's fearful or something that's lustful that happened throughout the day, or something that you heard throughout the day that's gossip, you change the channel from that and you dwell or you meditate on the things that are of God. If you don't know how to do this, start with reading the Gospels. Read the Gospel of Matthew, read the Gospel of John, and then listen to those words that Jesus spoke. If you're not great at reading, maybe go on Bible Gateway and just listen to the whole book. You can listen to their online, and basically it just plays a whole chapter. So let the book of John play and try to memorize everything that Jesus said so that later, instead of just letting your mind wander, that you can actively think about the things Jesus said. Remember that the devil will prey on you and try to defeat you when your mind is just wandering. That's why he also often gives people nightmares. He tries to scare people at night because often at night is when you were just not praying at all. You fell to sleep after, maybe not doing something that was spiritually good for your soul. And so the devil attacks you. So make sure that you're always in prayer, especially before you go to bed. Make sure that you're taking your thoughts captive and that you're focused on the things of Jesus, focused on his word. When you're focused on his word, and when you're in control of your mind, in other words, submitting your mind to think about the things of God rather than the things of the world, then the devil's not going to be able to get his darts spiritually into you. You're going to be able to overcome the wicked one. But the reason why you're not going to be able to overcome is if you're always letting your mind wander and not be focused on the things of God. So make sure that you have self-control, which is a fruit, and make sure that you're holding Jesus's hand and walking forward with him in faith. If you do this, you'll be going the right direction, but don't get discouraged. You can overcome. Jesus